lahat ng kanilang pinapalabas, nire-release publicly, ay pwedeng pag-usapan at pwedeng bigyan ng komento. Kaya lagi ko sinasabi, kapag ako ay tinatanong, ano ang tingin ko sa desisyon na nilabas ng ICC? Ang sinasabi ko lagi, walang basihan sa batas. Ano ba ang pinagbasihan nila? Libro ng isang tao na hindi mo naman alam kung ano ang kredibilidad?
Correct.
Suporta ng mga tao? Siyempre, dahil dating head of state yan, dating pangulo yan, minahal yan, minamahal yan ng marami. Siyempre, meron talaga tayong ipapakita na suporta. Ako, anak, kapamilya, siyempre, magagalit ako sa ginawa sa aking ama at sa isang Pilipino na ninakaw, kinuha, kinidnap doon sa Pilipinas para ihatid diyan sa ICC. Let us start in the year 2017. In 2017, a lawyer submitted a communication to the International Criminal Court. And this was supplemented by a communication by former Senator Trillanes and another person. That was in 2017. In 2018, the court took it under consideration. Between 2017 until 2021, there was investigation, no investigation, put on hold. Let us start first with the complainant. Who is Trillanes? Trillanes is the person behind the Oakwood Mutiny and the Manila Peninsula Siege.
Yes!
Which was against who? It was against President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Trillanes stood on the platform of anti-corruption against Arroyo. We do not know the dealings, the negotiations behind the mutiny and the siege. That is not discussed publicly. When did we next see Trillanes? We saw him next in the Jejomar Binay attack. Vice President Binay was a candidate, a presumptive candidate for the 2016 election. And then what did he do? He attacked Vice President Binay on the platform of anti-corruption. But you must remember, he never attacked President Aquino on the platform of anti-corruption. And you remember the DAP, the pork barrel scam of the Aquino administration. And where was Trillanes then? Quiet. Because we do not know how much, where, how, when the negotiations happened. When did you see him again? Trillanes, hear about him again. You heard about him in 2016 because President Duterte was the front runner. In April 2016, President Duterte was already the front runner of the presidential elections. Everyone forgot about Mar Rojas, the candidate of Trillanes. Everyone was focused on Rodrigo Duterte, including Trillanes. This was the first time you heard about EJK, DDS, bank accounts, billions in the bank accounts. This was in 2016. In 2017, he filed the communication in ICC. And if you can remember, President Duterte never did anything against Trillanes, against the witnesses of Trillanes during the Senate hearing. He presented Matubato, he presented Las Cañas, and he claimed so many things about the Davao Death Squad. And what did President Duterte do? He told everyone, pabayaan nyo yan. It is his right to speak. It is his freedom to talk about the Davao Death Squad. So that is... Okay na ng payong, sir.
Ito tissue, ma'am.
May panyo ako, ma'am.
Ay, sorry.
Girl Scouts.
So that was Trillanes. That is Trillanes. Against Gloria Arroyo, anti-corruption. Against Binay, anti-corruption. Against Rodrigo Duterte, anti-corruption. EJK. But do you hear him speak of anti-corruption when it comes to President Aquino and President Marcos?
No!
Makes you question. What is the anti-corruption platform for? Whose interest is he serving?
Yellow.
This is yellow, pink, red. Lahat ng kulay, maliban lang sa green. Lucky charm. At, maliban sa green at black. Diba? He is quiet when negotiations happen for his interest. But if negotiations are for the interest of, against the interest of Trillanes, he is noisy. So that is 2017 in the background of the person who sent the communication to ICC. Now here comes ICC. Yes, we take it into consideration, and then yes, we will investigate. We will put on hold the investigation through the years, and then come 2021, we will investigate. And who is the person, who was the prosecutor who finally defended the investigation? It was Prosecutor Karim Khan, who was dismissed for an entirely different issue, but there was one issue about Karim Khan in relation to the case of President Rodrigo Duterte. And what was it? He had conflict of interest because his previous work was representation of the victims of supposed EJK under the Commission on Human Rights in the Philippines. That was his conflict of interest. But did ICC say categorically that you have conflict of interest? They did not. They just said that the appearance of impropriety excludes him from this case. But how can you give credibility to an investigation by someone who represented the victims? And now you're saying he must be investigated and prosecuted. That is clear conflict of interest. It muddles the entire investigation. That is our complainant, that is our prosecutor. We go to jurisdiction. ICC said, we have jurisdiction because we took the complaint under consideration before the Philippines withdrew as a member of the International Criminal Court. And what does that mean? It means that if you take it under consideration, before withdrawal of a country, there will always be an open complaint, open under consideration, open investigation through the years, even if the ICC will not act on it. And is that justified? Of course not, because it will be a perpetual investigation. There must be an end
Yes.
to the perceived liability, to the under consideration, to the investigation. Otherwise, it will be 300 years from now, assuming this ICC
Still exists.
will exist for 300 years, there will be an open, under consideration, complete communication inside the ICC. That is what the countries who are withdrawing now from the ICC should watch out. Because if there is something under consideration there, even if they withdraw 50 years from now, kung buhay pa yung ICC, they can file a case. That is why we have been saying, you have no jurisdiction.
No.
2 years has passed since the withdrawal of the Philippines from the ICC before any formal inquiry was done. If that is allowed, then there will be no end to the ICC going after sovereign nations. That is jurisdiction. We go to how the ICC disregarded how former President Rodrigo Duterte was kidnapped from the Philippines. They say, it doesn't matter to us how he was taken, where he was taken, by what means he was taken. What matters to us was that he was delivered to The Hague and endorsed to the ICC. If this is about justice, then why does it allow injustice to happen to people who are respondents of communications, of complaints inside ICC? Next,